and live your life today. It doesn't matter what they say.
Well, welcome to another episode of Red Lotus Life, where we are here to talk about what's happening in Say Yes to Soul. Oh my gosh. I can't, I just can't. I mean, every single time there is just this deepening that happens with every single clear within the community. We continue to hear over and over again about how it's such a safe space. So we wanted to talk about that because it's rare anymore to have safe containers and safe spaces where people can be vulnerable and really share what it is that they're going through and what they're experiencing. And we also wanted to talk about the back of the heart chakra because, I mean, let's be real, not a lot of people, everyone always talks about the front and the heart opening, but wow, what happens whenever we open up the back of the heart and what
Mhm.
that actually means. And what's held there too, because it's totally different than what's held in the front of the heart. And then also, we're going to talk about what we're rolling into with our next clear and intimate and romantic relationships as we've released hurting in our open heart clear and discussing a little more of what we're going to take with us from this clear into our intimate and romantic relationships. So, Sara, thank you for joining me today.
Mhm. Thank you for having me as always.
Mhm. I know. What do you think about what's going on in Say Yes to Soul with this container? Because I mean, the intention has always been that it's going to be a safe, judgment-free space where people can truly open up. I mean, you and I, we met in a safe container and we developed a relationship that I think is a lifetime. It's been many
Any
lifetimes that we've
lifetimes.
found each other, but now it's like I can't imagine my life without you. And that's what
I
we wanted
know.
to create here in Say Yes to Soul.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Again, as I always say, there truly are no words to really describe the validation that I find, the joy, which has just continued to build, especially with this open-hearted clear, because that's one of the things that we've really been able to access as we have removed and released that hurting from, especially the back of the heart space. So just being able to access that joy, witnessing others in the space access that joy and feel safe enough to really open up and show up. I mean, all in. People are showing up just all the way up, and it's just incredible and so beautiful to witness.
It really is the growth that's happening and the support that each and every person in there is giving each other and the way that they're showing up for each other, the way they're
Mhm.
showing up for themselves, but also how they're showing up for others. And, I think it's one of those things where a lot of people that I talk to always ask, like, how do you cultivate this space online? Like, it's easy. I don't want to say it's easy. It's easier to cultivate a safe space in person,
Mhm.
especially if you have like a small group, but it's something else to be able to cultivate a safe space for people to truly and authentically connect online. And honestly, I mean, it's just intention. It's just intention. And I feel that when you and I show up in this way, and we are 100% vulnerable in these spaces, we're doing our own work and Say Yes to Soul. We're
Mhm.
sharing where our ups and our downs, our ebbs and our flows are, and how we're integrating everything, how we're connecting the dots. I think that allows people to really show up as themselves as well. And that has been super beautiful because even you and I are cultivating connections in this space that I know are going to be lifetime connections.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind. And we've seen that happen again, going back to Say It's the Soul and those relationships, not just you and I, but so many others who we continue to cultivate and we continue to expand and grow, and they have been part of our journey. And that's what we're now witnessing. And yeah, it is all about intention. It's really not hard, but when we are willing to deep dive and do the work and go in the trenches and show up and without judgment, without criticism, like just allowing all of everyone to come into a space, it does create that safe, judgment-free zone. And truly what we are seeing being created is, and we've even like it's being called this now more and more. I'm even starting to speak about this as well, but it's really the Say Yes to Soul family.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what feels true to me.
Yeah, it's been really fun. It's fun to even hear the members of Say Yes to Soul come in, and that's how they address everyone is, hey, Say Yes to Soul family. And they just talk about what's happening in their lives and how they're integrating. And it's just by doing the open heart clear that we just barely did, we're wrapping it up. It's just deepened that. It's like unspoken. You can feel it. You can feel the safety. You can feel the trust. You can feel the support. And all of us truly are helping each other rise and become the best versions of ourselves and being able to support each other and showing up in that way. And sometimes it's ugly. Sometimes that's what has to happen, right? It's the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when I say the ugly, I'm talking the depths of the shadow, right? The depths of the hurting. Hurting was our emotional block in the open heart clear. And
Mhm.
so to have that hurting, the definition of hurting in the spiral modality is the ongoing sense of emotional injury. And so when we were able to release this from all of our being, right? The mental body, emotional, energetic, physical, and spiritual bodies, what that has done in our integration is it has opened up our heart. And a lot of people, whenever they talk about open hearts, they talk about what's happening here in the front. But what we like to do and Say Yes to Soul, we like to talk about the things that people don't necessarily know about. And that is the back of the heart. And in the back of the heart, that is where we truly hold all of our experiences. With all relationships, right? All of our experiences with all, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Sarah, but all relationships with all of our experiences from all of eternity. I mean, really just everything that we have experienced from our soul. So not necessarily even in this life on this earth in this plane, but all of them. So it's the karmic ties and everything. So yeah, share a little more about that.
Okay, so it's not only our karmic ties, our loops, our past lives, but it's also our grief and our hurting is held there in the back of the heart space. And so what we've been able to do is journey with, because we did release hurting from the small intestine, that's in the element of fire. So small intestine meridian in the element of fire, and that is, that also includes the heart space. So, as we are intuitively working and integrating as the clear progresses, we started to be able to sort of, Lori and I tune in and follow the energy of the container. And that's when we were like, oh, okay, so we're actually working with the golden channel. We're actually igniting that heart flame. And when this happens, what happens is that energy moves straight up from the root through to the heart. And we're working with that golden energy channel, which is the womb, heart, and throat axis. So it's this beautiful trinity, and it connects us directly from even the Earth's womb to the cosmic womb. So we're sitting here really getting to connect womb to womb within our container, in a way that now we're all opening up this clear, strong channel to be able to take that not only into our next clear around intimate and romantic relationships, but we're taking that into our purpose work. This is, we're working with that that axis is our creative power. That is our, that's our creative expression. That is our creative energy, just generally speaking. It's our life force energy. And it's just so beautiful to personally be able to witness this being ignited in others, because they're going to take that out into the world and that ripple is going to be created.
I know they already are.
Right.
And so that's why I just say, I mean, I'm watching us and how we are relating with our environment and within our
Mhm.
communities and our loved ones, our friends, all of that. I'm witnessing what is happening for them, which has been incredible. We're talking about, I mean, once you have that knowledge of what's going on with the back of the heart, and then once we were able to connect that into the golden channel and the womb, heart, throat access, and everything else that's been happening in there as we've been integrating, it's just, we've broken that loop. We're breaking the pattern. And that's beautiful because now we can take the gold nuggets that we're discovering and the diamonds and everything else. We talked about blue diamond heart energy last month. And I mean, there's so much that we're talking about in that space right now. And now we're able to take that, also the inner sovereign queen that's within our heart space, and having her show up in the driver's seat as we go into the intimate and romantic relationships. It's crazy. I'm just really excited to see what unfolds for this next month as we focus on that, because there's just so much good stuff here. I can't even, like, I'm having a hard time even putting words to it, but it's like it's all the treasures, right? There was so many treasures that we discovered within the heart that we didn't even realize was there until that heart wall started to dissolve. And now we're just showing up in completely different ways.
Yes, totally different ways. And so one of the things that I've noticed, and I'll just share a little bit of my personal experience, is like I've done a lot of work around the heart wall. So finally being able to access and clear that channel through the back was huge, because I didn't realize how much was still there. I think, Lori, you mentioned it one time, because, we were feeling that burning sensation in the back periodically, off and on, as the waves of integration were hitting. And it's literally like crystals being busted open. That was a really good description. I resonated with that. Just being released from that chakra. And when we're talking about what we now have access to, just imagine without that looping around hurting, without carrying around all of that hurt from so many lifetimes, from all of your relationship dynamics, what are you now open to receiving? What are you now open to giving? So now getting to use discernment around what it is we want to leave behind as we, journey with moving forward in some way, whatever that looks like, whatever dynamic that looks like for any one of you. But also, what do we want to take with us now that we have that access?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, for anyone who is interested in deepening their intimate and romantic relationships, or discovering what that means for you, or um, just even gaining clarity on the type of relationship that you would like to be in, the type of partner that you would like to show up as in these relationships, we invite you to join us and Say Yes to Soul as we journey with intimate and romantic relationships. And also, we just invite you to become part of our community.
Our family.
Yeah, our family. That I, it's just beautiful to witness. Like, it's just beautiful to see the friendships that are beginning to form, and the support when people feel so alone and then they realize they are not alone.
Mhm.
that they have this whole community here and they're right there with them to just help them rise or help them pull them out of this space. And also, I think it's just realizing you're not alone. When one of us is feeling something, all of us are feeling it because we're doing the work together in
Yeah.
this group, and it's just amazing. So, I mean, it's fun even when somebody says, "Oh my gosh, are you like craving spicy food?" And we're all like, "Yep."
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are.
Jalapenos and eggs every day.
Yeah. So it's just fun. That's all I have to say. It's just, I mean, we're saying yes to our soul and doing the deep work in a really fun way and with really fun people too.
Yeah, I love what one of our beautiful um people who's in the container with us. I almost said her name. I didn't know if I should do that or not, but um we get to show up as our crazy. Well, how did she put that?
I think that's what she said, as our
Yeah,
crazy. Like,
as our crazy. All of us.
yeah, it's all of our authentic self, you know? And so when I say the good, the bad, and the ugly, it's like that's what I mean. It's like all the aspects of ourselves are here in in this community and in this family, and we just are all loving each other through it and also celebrating each other because we can literally see in 30 days, fast, quick, what the potential of somebody else can actually be because they step into that and they start to show up as that. It I I will be really happy when I have the words to clearly explain what happens in Say Yes to Soul. I mean, honestly, it's just an experience and it's just been really fun.
Yeah, it truly is just an experience. I'm not sure that we will ever accurately have the words. It's one of those things that you just have to experience for yourself.
Hmm. Yeah, I think you and I were talking about it, and I said if I could just live in Say Yes to Soul all day, every day, like that would be great. Like I know
Yeah.
this is our purpose work because this is what we both said. If this is where we could live all day, every day, this is where we would be. So yeah,
Mhm.
we're just yeah, it just feels good. Can you tell we're in an open heart right now?
Yeah.
All right, well we
Like, oh.
exactly that's how I feel. I'm just like love.
Mhm.
So yeah, we just invite you in that space. Come join us over in Patreon for more intimate conversations where we actually share our personal experiences with what we're moving through. And yeah, I think that's just about it. Okay, we'll see you next time.
Mhm.
Bye.
Bye.
And live your life today.